Hey friends, it's Robin. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about 2024 goals. I have gone back and forth so many times on how I wanted to do this goals video because I couldn't decide if I only wanted to talk about reading and channel goals or if I also wanted to include my personal goals. I've talked about this a couple of times, but I use the Moxie Life system for my own personal goals, and I can't/won't share the entirety of my goals. I'm married. My goals don't only include me, they also include my husband and my family and all of that. And so I don't feel comfortable sharing everything. I share a lot of stuff about my personal life on this channel, but my husband is not on social media. He does not feel comfortable sharing his life via social media. And so I'm not going to put stuff that concerns the two of us out onto social media. But I think that there's a way that I could do some of my personal goals. So let me know if that is something that you are interested in. There are definitely parts of my goal planner that I can share. So let me know down in the comments if that is like a part 2 that you would like to see. But for now, we're going to talk about just reading and channel goals. And then we are also going to do like a little 2024 preview. So the way that I'm going to break this up is into 3 different parts. There will be timestamps down in the description box in case you want to jump around. The first part is just going to be a little wrap up of 2023 and my goals for 2023. Then we'll go into my 2024 reading and channel goals. And the last section will be a little preview. I'm going to keep this first section about my 2023 wrap up of my goals pretty short and sweet because back in, I think, end of November-ish, I did a vlog where I tried to wrap up some of my 2023 reading goals. So that video will be linked up in the cards and down in the description box as well. But I had 10 goals for 2023 and some of them went great and other ones not so much. I always set a numbers goal for how many books I want to read. In 2023, I set it to 100 books. I have set it to 100 books every single year since I think 2018. This year, I'm at 220 books at the time that I'm filming this video. Definitely completed that one. I had like a 2-part goal for authors. I wanted to prioritize some of my favorite authors' backlist while also making sure to read new to me authors as well as debut authors. And I did very well on both of those. I have been binging some backlists. I am planning to do some backlist videos. And then I read a ton of new to me authors. I did a couple of videos about new to me authors. I read way more debut authors than I thought I did when I was looking into whether or not I did this. I couldn't believe how many like debut authors I read, as well as authors who were debuting in a genre or age range. This is actually one that's going to be carrying over into the new year because I liked it so much. My A to Z challenges, which is primarily what my vlog was about. So I did complete pretty much all of these. The only one I didn't complete in entirety was my most anticipated. There were 3 books left on there that I didn't end up reading, and they were all sequels to fantasy books. And the reason I didn't read them is all of them came out in the last quarter of the year, and I really wanted to reread the previous books. And if you've been here, you know my reading in the last quarter of the year hasn't gone great. So I haven't gotten to it. Luckily, the 3 of them aren't for anything. Like, I'm never going to do a video about them. They're not for review, anything like that. So I'm not beating myself up that I didn't complete those 3 because they're really just for fun. I can do them whenever. The last one that I completed was my monthly TBR prompts. I did those pretty much every single month. I think there were 2 months this year that I didn't do them. They will be continuing into the new year. I love picking my TBR that way. The finite goals that I didn't complete are 1, get 1 month ahead on ARCs. I've talked about this a couple of times as well. I am significantly better about completing a month of ARCs in that month, and actually pretty early into the month. I think September, October, November, and December, I finished my ARCs in the first 2-ish weeks of the month, and then I just didn't pick up anymore. Because of that, I do feel like this is a goal that I will be able to accomplish in 2024. I just need to actually be better about continuing that momentum and using those last 2 weeks of the month to actually get ahead on the next month's arc. And I do have some other goals that will hopefully help me in achieving this. I will forever have the hit 80% on Deck Alley goal. If you watch that vlog, you will see that I went down since the start of 2023, and I've actually gone down since filming that vlog because I am 8 reviews behind on NetGalley. I've read the books and I just haven't written the reviews. And then the other like concrete one that I didn't complete at all was I came up with this idea to do this trope wheel where I would spin a wheel of a bunch of tropes at the start of my TBR and try to pick a book that filled that trope. And I don't think I did it a single time. I tried to do it in January, and the trope that I got, I didn't have a book for. And I am not the type of person who will find a book to fit something. If it isn't already there, I'm not going to do it. Even if I add it to my TBR and I'm like, oh, I found this book to do, I won't read it. I can't make myself do something that I don't want to do. If my brain says no, there's no compromising with it. That fell off pretty quick. And then the last 2 goals that I had for 2023, like I said, were very like vague goals. One was to be more creative, which I think in a way I did because I gave myself some space to do these more kind of like abstract vlog ideas. And I will say I got a lot more creative over on Instagram, particularly with my templates as the year has gone on. At the time that I am filming this, I just did my January 2024 templates, and except for 2 of them, all of them I designed myself. So I like found the clip art and the backgrounds and like put everything together. And so like I did them myself, whereas before I was taking like pre-made things and just like tweaking colors and stuff. And so I think I got a lot more creative over on my Instagram as time went on, and I got more confident in the things that I was sharing. So I think my creativity is a little bit easier for me to do over there than it is here, because this requires a lot more time and energy and commitment. It can be a little hard to get very creative over here because the creative elements that I would want to do would take up so much time that I just don't have to dedicate to a video with working a full-time job, my family and my health and all of that stuff. So, and then the last one was to find consistency, because consistency was my word of the year. And if you watch my videos, you know that that's not true. We're going to get into it here in my 2024 goals, but I do have some plans for how I can start to improve my consistency. While I didn't find consistency in 2023, I will say that having that as my word of the year did make me more aware of things and conscious of steps and things that I can do to add some consistency to my life. The way that I'm going to be incorporating that is to start doing like small steps. I am really bad at small steps. If I'm not going to do something from start to finish right now, then I just won't do it at all. So I'm really bad about like cleaning one room of my house. If I can't edit a whole video, at least I can edit a small part of this video. My brain doesn't think like that. It's like, if you don't have time to clean your whole house, don't clean. It makes things very difficult. One of my big goals for 2024 in life in general is to find a way to get myself to do things in smaller steps. So that's going to kind of lead us right into the 2024 goals. Like I said, these are going to be strictly for my reading and channel goals. The first goal that I have is the biggest change for 2024. For the first time ever, I'm going to change my number goal to 200 books. I've always done it at 100 books, but for the last, I think 3 years, I've either gone to like 198, and then in 22 and 23, I got way past 200. And so I'm going to set it to 200 books this year, because I do think that this is something that I can pretty easily hit. I don't want to make this goal something that like stresses me out. It feels silly to keep it at 100, and so I'm going to up it to 200. However, one of the big things that I got very comfortable with in 2023 and is going to continue in 2024 is that I can change anything and stop anything at any time that I want. I'm going to link a video that Heather from AUDIOBOOK did down in the description box, where she talks about how as content creators and influencers and all of that, we put these unnecessary pressures on ourselves that we feel like we have to do certain things. We have to post these videos. We have to read these books. We have to do these things. And then people will beat themselves up for it. And like, you don't have to do any of it. With this channel, I make something stupid like $4 a week. I don't make money off of this channel. And so if I don't want to do something, I'm just not going to do it. If at some point in the year, I'm like, I'm not going to hit 200 books, I'm just going to change the number. I am straight up of the opinion that there is no reason you should ever not hit your Goodreads goal. Just change it. Don't make yourself feel bad for not hitting your Goodreads goal when you are 100% in control of that number. Just change the number. I'm going to set it to 200 at the beginning of the year because 200 has been a pretty simple thing for me to hit. I'm not having to force myself to read more than I want. I'm not having to choose my books intelligently or in a specific way to hit it. I'm just hitting this by reading the amount of books that I want to read. I never want to have to alter my reading habit in order to fit a goal, because I'm a reader first and foremost. So if something is stressing me out and I am not enjoying my hobby, I'm going to change how I'm doing it because I'm here to have a good time, not to stress myself out. I have a job that stresses me out. This isn't that space. So 200 books. We'll see how that sticks around. Carryovers from 2023. I kind of mentioned this. I still want to prioritize new and debut authors, and I am planning to utilize more videos to do this. So I did a Do My Friends Have Good Taste, and I'm going to use that base theme to continue prioritizing new to me and debut authors. So does so-and-so have good taste? I have a couple of options, like does Instagram have good taste? Edition number 2 of Do My Friends Have Good Taste, where I'm going to take some of their favorite books of the year, not in January like everyone else does. It'll probably be later on, but I'm going to do that to continue prioritizing new to me authors. And I do have debut authors already on my radar. I have a Goodreads shelf where I save all of the books for the different years. So I will have that link down in the description box as well. I think my 2024 shelf already has 130 books on it. And then the other one that's carrying over are my 2 A to Z challenges, both my author A to Z as well as my book title A to Z. That's it for the really basic carryover ones. One of my things that I want to try this year is kind of going into that be more creative. One of the things that I want to do is to give myself the space and ability to try out some things without saying you have to commit to it forever. So in the first quarter of 2024, I want to explore shorts and reels. You can't do it all. You can't be on Bookstagram and YouTube and stories and reels and TikTok and Twitter and have a blog and you can't do everything. Unless you have a team of people working with you, you as a solo creator cannot do all of those things. Even if it's your full-time job, you will burn yourself out. And so I want to see if it's something that I can utilize where I'm not having to create all new content. The different ideas that I have are, one, I started using shorts as little preview clips for my videos. I think I've done 3 or 4 of them where I just take a chunk out of a video, whether or not it's something funny or just a little peek at a review. Those require essentially no effort because I'm already editing the video. All I do is I take that clip, I import it into Canva, I export it back out, and I post it. And so there's no additional effort that is needed. And so something like that, as well as sometimes I come up with ideas that don't necessarily have enough for a video. It's I want to do this or that or something, but I have 2 books. And so I'm thinking that those are the types of things that I want to do for shorts or reels, where it's this isn't a full-fleshed idea, but I want to talk about this one thing or recommend this one book. So we'll see how it works out. And like I said, I'm giving myself the first quarter, the first 3 months to see if it's something that I enjoy. If I don't enjoy doing it, we don't do it. The next goal is to reprioritize my Instagram feed posts. With how busy the last, quarter plus of this year has been, it's just really impacted my energy that I've had to give to content. And part of it has to do with how I've been scheduling and the time that I have set up to create content. But I've not been posting a lot of feed posts. There was one month, I think it was November, I posted 3. And one of them was a Canva for my November releases. It was really bad. Granted, I post to stories essentially every day. So I do want to get back to posting my feed posts. And again, I have things that I'm going to be doing in order to help me do that, including some scheduling things and some different content changes. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the what is coming content-wise. The next one is, I guess, technically a carryover. And it is to, again, get 1 month ahead of my ARC reading. Now, I'm going to kind of talk a little bit more here. This is going to kind of be crossing the line between a preview of what's coming and a goal. But part of the reason why I was not getting ahead on ARCs and not following through on videos and things like that is I would overcommit in a month. I would set like 6 or 7 weeks of TBRs, and there's not 6 or 7 weeks in a month. And so I was just never having enough time to do all of those different things. And so I am trying to pull back on the things that are optional and aren't bringing me joy, the things that were stressing me out. And so I'm trying to dial into the things that I actually want to do and actually am excited about. And then one of the other things that I want to do to help me with this is back in October, I did a like, are these books worth it vlog where I read a bunch of October arcs and then shared which ones I think were worth reading and picking up. And I want to do those throughout the year. I'm not going to guarantee one every single month because some months are really, really arc heavy and I will never be able to complete them all in a vlog. And some are really light or are sequels or whatever. So whenever I feel there's a good mix of books for me to vlog, I'm going to try and do one of those vlogs. And then some of them might not be like actual vlogs, but more like vlog style, which does take me into the next goal, which is to do more vlogs and vlog style videos. I really enjoy making like really chatty videos. And when I say vlog style, think like one, resets. I love a reset. It's not necessarily somebody pitching you something or trying to sell you on something. It's just kind of like a little peek into their life. My like Monday morning planner routine video, a try a chapter video, things like that, where it's not quite a full vlog, but it's not like a recommendation or sit down video. It's just kind of a chatty casual video. And I want to do more of those because they are, one, way easier to film. You don't have to get all ready and all of that, and you can just kind of be chill and chat. Not that my sit down videos are all that serious anyways. They tend to be pretty chatty, but I want to do more of them. And then the last one is my big goal. And Heather, you can laugh at me all you want, but it is to explore a YouTube schedule. Obviously, I don't have one. All the power to the creators who can be like, you get a video at 9 a.m. every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I don't know how you do it, and I applaud you. It is amazing. That's never quite going to be me. It's just not. That's not my personality. It's not. It's really hard with my life as well, between having a full-time job and my medical stuff and my neurodiversity and all of that stuff. Like, it just doesn't, they don't go hand in hand. But I do want to come up with a way to take some of the pressure off when I don't have the ability to film. And then sometimes if I'm not posting a video for 10, 12 days, I start feeling weird where it's like, oh my God, like there's so much pressure to come back, and not like pressure from anyone else, but I'm just like, oh my God, what if my next video sucks and they waited all this time for this crappy video? Or I get really behind on things and then I'm just like, forget it, we're not doing it. So I want to find a way to kind of counteract that. One of the things that I have come up with after talking to friends is to have some videos set aside that aren't like time relevant. They're not related to the season. They're not related to what I'm currently reading. They're just like totally separate videos. Think like author discussions or a series recommendation, or just these kind of like more general things that don't require me to read anything. They're just kind of chatting about like what types of books I like or what authors I want to read more of or whatever. And that way I can have those edited and just unlisted. And if there is a time where I'm just like, I cannot film a video, it is not possible right now, I can take that, post it, you have a video. Again, I have the power to change my mind about anything at any given time. But I'm thinking that I want to have a minimum of one video a week. So I'm thinking it's going to be at some time at the beginning of the week, so Monday, Tuesday, something like that. And whether or not that is a video that is relevant to my reading or one of these like backlog videos that I have prepared is to be determined. My goal for every single week is to have 2 videos. So you'll have that guaranteed early in the week video, and then sometime like Friday, Saturday, there will be be a second video. And that will be one that is like a vlog or a recommendation or whatever it is. And then my recent reads will be what I consider a bonus video. And then if there is a time that I can't fathom doing any of this, you'll get the one. So that's kind of my goal for the new year. Now, I have to actually film and edit and do all of those like backlog videos so that I have them ready. We'll see how it goes. Whether or not this sticks around, we'll see at the end of 2024 when I watch this video back and tell you whether or not I did all of these things and laugh at myself for having such big dreams. That's it for the reading and channel goals. We're going to go into a little bit of a preview for 2024. I broke this into a couple categories. In all honesty, most things aren't changing that much. I don't make videos that I don't like. If I don't like to make something, I just don't do it. So there have been times where I've made a video and I was like, I did not enjoy that. And so I just don't do it anymore. But there are a couple of things that are changing / leaving. So the first one is my seasonal series. I had upped it to 4 videos and it just got to be a little bit too much. The way that I'm going to change it is instead of having 4 videos, it's going to go back to 3. So I'm going to have my seasonal TBR where I still share categories of books that I'm going to be reading over the upcoming season. I'll have my winter one up in the cards and down in the description box. I'm getting rid of the wrap up and instead just doing a reset. And I will have a little section in the reset where I look back on the TBR and wrap things up. I don't like wrap ups. There's a reason I don't do monthly wrap ups. I don't like them. My recent reads, like 10 to 12 books, is all of the books that I want to review in a video. Any more than that, it's too much. That's kind of the big change. And then the recommendations are staying. So there will still be a seasonal recommendation after the start of that season. As you know, if you have checked, there's not a winter reset because I didn't end up filming it. And then the recommendations video is actually coming in January. It just didn't fit in, and so I pushed it back to January. So it's coming. And then the other thing that is changing and or leaving is readathons. I am planning to participate in very, very few. And when I do, my participation is going to be more in spirit than in like actual tangible participation. So I'm not really going to be doing month-long readathons. And if I am going to participate in a month-long readathon, it's going to be like I'm going to dedicate like 72 hours to that TBR or 4 days or whatever it is. It's not going to be all month long. The reason being is that I'm a TBR reader. So I need to have like a weekly TBR. And sometimes what would happen is when I have a month-long readathon, I think, okay, well, I have all month. And so the books that I would put on there were in addition to my set TBR for videos and arcs and things like that. And then I would continuously put those things off because I was prioritizing things for videos and content. And then all of a sudden it's the end of the month and I'm like, I didn't read my optional books. And so I'm going to instead kind of set aside time, going to be a shorter time period. So then what is staying is a lot of things. My TBRs staying the same. I'm still going to do the TBR prompts. I'm still going to do them every single month. I'm a TBR reader. I need the TBRs. Monthly resets. They're my favorite videos to film. They're my favorite videos to watch. I want everyone to do resets because I love them. My monthly releases are staying the same. Monthly releases are probably the most difficult videos to prep because they require a lot of work ahead of time to prepare, but they will never leave because I use those new release videos. So as well as like the posts that I make over on Instagram, I refer back to them all the time. So they'll never leave. And then my recent reads, like I said, I don't like wrap-ups. I don't like it. I hate having to talk about too many books in a video. I just don't want to do it. So the recent reads are staying. They might fluctuate a little bit between 10 to 12 books so that I am not constantly falling behind on them. So if I get to a point where it's like, oh, I've already started the next list of recent reads, I might tack a couple on, but they will never be longer than 12 books. Any longer than that, and it's too much. I will say one of the things I'm thinking of changing in the recent reads is not giving full reviews on things that I've talked about in another video. So if I have done a vlog or something like that, I'm thinking of keeping those pretty short in my recent reads and not re-wrapping them up or like re-reviewing them because there's no need to talk about it that many times. So that is one thing I'm thinking about changing in there. But overall, they're going to be staying the same. And then I do have 3 things that I'm adding in. So one thing I want to add back in is I had done some Sunday productivity sprints. I had tried to do them weekly. It's not possible with my life, but I do want to try to do one productivity sprint every single month. I'm thinking it's still going to be on Sunday because Sundays are the least likely day that I'm going to be busy. They're usually the day that I already set aside for productivity. So that's the easiest day for me to like consistently be available. I'm again giving myself grace where if I am part of another live show like that weekend or something like that, I'll just cancel it. I don't know if it's just going to kind of be like a spur of the moment, like at the start of every month, I tell you when it's going to be. I haven't figured that out yet. I'm going to figure that out after this video, after I finish filming. Hey, hi. So the first productivity sprint is actually going to be this coming Sunday, January 14th at noon Central Standard Time. And then the other thing that I'm adding in is once a month, I'm going to do a planner video. I don't know what this planner video is going to be because it's going to change month to month. Sometimes it might be a Monday morning planner routine. Sometimes it might be a memory plan with me. Sometimes it might be a daily/weekly plan with me. It could be a content plan with me. It could just be like a decorate video. It's going to change month to month depending on what I'm in the mood for. If somebody requests something or asks a question. I do have a lot of ideas from when I had asked about planner things. And so I do have like kind of a backlist of things that people have asked to see or want to know more about. And again, I'm giving myself flexibility here. Maybe one month I really want to do 2 planner videos. Maybe one month I don't want to do any. I'm giving myself flexibility, but I do want to start incorporating them more regularly on my channel because I love my planners. As much as they don't get the same engagement, I do get like more comments and like messages about them when I post them. So the people that like planner videos really like them, and they are pretty easy videos to film, and I enjoy filming them. So, and then the last thing is for Instagram, and that is to include more carousels and recommendations over on Instagram. So like I said, I want to reprioritize my Instagram feed posts, and one of the ways I'm going to do that is instead of always needing a like stylized photo, I want to incorporate more like carousel lists and recommendations and those types of things. One, I personally love them. I save them on Instagram all the time. They get way more engagement. They're way more interactive and like engaging, and they are way easier to make because I don't need to do like my whole setup, pick out books and all of that stuff. I can quickly do it in Canva. And it takes, 20 minutes in Canva, and I can prep a bunch of them. And then if that day I don't have like a photo taken or edited or whatever, I can post one of those. So that's it for what's changing content-wise, coming, goals, all that stuff. So the last thing I want to do is just give a little preview of actual content things. So first of all, number 1, we are doing a buddy read in 2024 over on Heather from HeoBookTube's channel for the Rock Chicks series by Kristen Ashley. This is her favorite author, and we're doing like 1-ish book a month. I think there's like 2 novellas, and in the months where those novellas fall, we'll be reading 2 books. So the novella and then like its full-length novel. So in January, we'll be doing the prequel in book 1. I think it's like the last Saturday of the month or something like that. We will be doing a live show to talk about it. The first week of January is going to be my wrap-up series. Hi, me again. Obviously that did not end up happening since I got strep throat, but the end of the year series is going to be starting tomorrow with my most disappointing books. And then sprinkled throughout January will be a couple of other things. So like 2023 releases I didn't get to, series check-in, you'll get my 5-star prediction, my most anticipated, all of that stuff sprinkled throughout January. So January will be a lot of like wrap up stuff, and then 2024 like preview things. One of the other big things I want to do in 2024 is more recommendations videos. However, especially in the romance community, I feel like there is an oversaturation of recommendations videos. If there is a trope you want a recommendation for, there are dozens and dozens of channels that have done multiple recommendations videos for tropes. And so I don't want to do that. I don't feel like my voice is needed for that. So I am trying to come up with some like interesting and unique ways to do recommendations videos that aren't just like, here's 5 friends to lovers romances. I do have a couple of ideas. The first one being some like themed this or that. However, they're going to be themed very specific. And then the other thing that I want to do is like a couple of multi-part ones. So whether it's like 2 to 3 videos where I'm giving some like complimentary recommendations. And then the third idea that I have is to use some of those like vlog style ones. I don't quite know what that's going to look like yet. I do have some fun ideas for like a choose your own adventure one, but I don't know how it would work out execution wise, but I did come up with a really fun choose your own adventure recommendations video, and we'll see if I'm able to come up with a good way to film it and post it. In the first quarter of 2024, I am going to do my reader's guide to the Satan verse, which I talked about so many times. I originally wanted to do it in January, but I'm a little bit behind. I did read quite a few of them in December, so I think I have 5 left. I have no idea how I'm going to map out this video. I'm pretty sure I'm going to look like this meme right here, trying to do this for you guys. In February and in January, actually, I have some fantasy romance content coming. I talked about this in a previous video, I don't remember which one, but I'm exploring fantasy in 2024. That's kind of like my big exploration in 2024. So I do have some fantasy content, some vlogs, some recommendations, things like that for the first 2 months. I'm planning quarterly Kindle Unlimited updates. I think I only did one of them in 2023, and they are, again, like really easy videos to film and get out. So I want to do them every single quarter so that I can just kind of show you what I read off of Kindle Unlimited, what I currently have checked out, all of that. In March, I have a 2-part vlog. I'm trying to do at least 1 vlog every single month, and one of the ways I kind of want to tweak my vlogs a little bit are to make some of them like series so that I'm not having to come up with tons of new ideas for vlogs. I can kind of take a theme and do it a couple of different ways. And in March, we have a 2-parter. I'm really excited for it. If you watched my winter TBR, I gave you a whopping 1 book hint. Like I said, for that like YouTube schedule-y thing, I want to do some like batch videos that I can post whenever. And right now, the ones that I have are some series ones, as well as some authors. So the authors I won't read, the authors I'm done with, the authors that I love, the authors I want to read more from, things like that. If you have any other good discussion-y videos like that you really want to see, please leave them down in the comments so that I can add them to my list to refilm and just have at the ready. It can be pretty much anything as long as it doesn't require me to read something. And then the last thing is some reflection videos. So I love when people like look back on their TBRs from a different season or their haul from 3 years ago or whatever it might be. I love those types of videos. And so I have a couple of them. One of them was a idea that Heather and Stef gave me during one of our chats, and it is penciled in for June. If I have enough content for it, it'll come earlier. But right now I'm planning 2 of them a year. Like I said, if I get too much content, I'll do 4 of them. I'll do them quarterly, but we'll see. So that is the little preview that I have. I will say that I have only like scheduled content through, I think I have content like completely mapped out through March, and I have like ideas on April, and like that's it. So these things, some of them are vague ideas that I haven't like fully designed, but a lot of them are things that are coming in the first couple of months because that's what I have mapped out already. And a lot of these things are also, like I said, going to be like continuing series. It's really helpful on this channel to have some like repetitive things because I do have my full-time job and I do have a lot of other commitments, and not needing to come up with 13 new ideas every single month is really beneficial. I can just take like the 4 or 5 things that are carrying over all the time and then maybe tweak them slightly for a new month or a new theme or whatever is really beneficial, so that then I only have to come up with like 2 or 3 new ideas. Let me know what some of your goals are for 2024. Let me know if we have any goals in common. Let me know what you're most excited to see, or if you have any requests, recommendations for things that you would like to see in the new year. I'm really hoping that this is a better year. It's been rough going since 2020. So thank you all so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, I will see you in my next one. Bye.